We should be live in Kingdom Hearts Academy Facebook group. Hope all is well. Today we're going to be talking about how to build your buyers list. So we're going to go over how to do that in today's crazy technology world. So we're going to go over how to build your buyers list and hold on one second. There we go. So if you need help, support, reach out to us, email, text, call. We're here to help you, support you. Of course, we're looking to partner on deals, so send us deals, to help, you help to analyze it, you help running the numbers. Send us the deals and we'll see what we can do. And we'll figure out an exit strategy for the deal. Okay. So every week I'm gonna kind of do something a little different as well. I'm gonna start going over like success on what's going on. Just a couple of success stories. I say if you guys saw my post. We have close to maybe like 70 grand in assignment fees and assignment fees. I think one of them was a listing. I think no, yeah, we had two deals that were listings in Streeter, so that was like 8 grand. So everything else was assignment. So we got over 70 grand in assignment fees and commissions going to close in the next 1 to 2 weeks. Um, and we have deal closing. Hopefully by the end of this week, 20 grand that we're gonna make on a deal with our partner Anthony, as long as these attorneys get everything, it's always a battle with you got a seller's attorney, you got buyer's attorney, you got the title company, you got your own attorney, you got the seller, you got the buyer. So it's like seven different people, especially in Illinois. If everyone has an attorney, everyone, there's like seven different people you got to communicate with. So sometimes it's hard. This guy doesn't respond. This guy doesn't. So everything gets delayed. So we've had some closings where keep getting pushed. We were expecting to close like 2 weeks ago, and seller's attorney's not, getting their stuff together to close. That's the name of the game. It's just, you're always gonna have something new come up, some new problem, some new, you just gotta push through it. So we have a closing in Robbins, Illinois, where our partner Andre got the deal. That's a 14 grand spread. We got a closing in Humble Park with our partner Eric. There's a 20 grand spread on that one. That should be in the next week or two. Closing in Riverdale next week on Tuesday. That's like a 14 grand spread. And we got a closing in there's one deal in Streeter. It's a small deal. We're only making 8 grand. But the attorneys are not responding, so I'm not sure when we're scheduling that one, but we have the buyer ready to close. We just don't have we're trying to do like a short sale where we're shorting what's owed on the property, so that's taking time. And then we have a deal in Palatine that taken like, I don't know, this has been like we had this deal for like 2 or 3 months under contract. It's like a big commercial deal, so uh it's been pretty delayed. So hopefully we're closing that one by August 20th. They have the closing date. So that one is like 3 weeks out. So that's like a 14 grand spread. So congrats to, and that partner was Mike. So congrats to our partners on those. And our goal is to get you there, get you to the closing table, get you to that point where and it all starts with just talking to the seller, making an offer, sending us the deal, we analyze it for you, we come up with the numbers, and then we of course partner on the deal. So congrats to everyone, and let me share my screen. And of course, we still got these cash flowing Airbnbs. So I think we made about 44,000 in the last 30 days in revenue, and we have about 6 different students that are cash flowing with Airbnbs right now. So we have uh, um, quite a few people making 1,000 or more a month just from us managing the Airbnb. So if you need help, support, reach out to us, email, call, text. So today's training, we're going to be going over how to build a buyer's list in 2025. Um, we're going to go pretty much in depth of pretty much everything I could possibly think about like what I did. And first and foremost, you need a software. You need a CRM. My recommendation today in 2025, today's July 2025, and that might change in next year. Get allinOnemarketing.com. It's a go high level. You pay $97 one time. You can build your own buyer's list, buyer's website. AI can build the website for you. You can actually like copy a site. So you can copy our sites. You can just say, hey, copy this website and it will copy it for you. And you need a website where buyers can go and you capture their phone numbers and emails. So that's very important before you start any marketing for buyers. Because if you're just writing things down on a notepad, you're not gonna make it in 2025. You have to capture their email and their phone numbers into a CRM where you can go back and you can call that list, text that list, email that list with a click of a button, right? So that's what you want to eventually get to. So if you're using allinonemarketing.com, it's 97 bucks one time. You don't pay any usage fees, and you just build a buyer's list, right? And you can copy our site here if you want to, or create your own, or have AI create one for you. So this is kind of our website here, and we have a for buyers website here, right? We do have so this is the one that we promote out in public. I should give you this one is which one? Best Chicago wholesale deal. Is this one. So this is one you can copy. This is like just a squeeze page. So bestchicagoWholesaleDeal.com/buyers. So you need something like this, like just all they can do, the only thing they can do on the website is put their name, email, phone number to join your buyers list. Okay. Something short, just say, hey, we have off-market deals in Chicago, join our exclusive buyers list. We have fixer-uppers, single family homes. Um, you put your name, your company name, and what you do. We have great deals to sell for cash, but we need more cash buyers who are ready to pull the trigger. Please join our list. If you're a serious investor, we have, single family, multi. Then just capture their name, email, phone number, where you're looking to buy, your experience, and they hit submit. And then when you'll see once I hit submit, it takes them to our properties we have for sale. So they can just go in here and start looking at properties and see which ones they want to see, right? Of course, if you don't have properties yet, eventually you'll get there. But tell them, hey, so maybe the next page should be something like, hey, we'll contact you once we have a good deal. Um, we have funding programs, so we just broker for a hard money lender. You can broker for any hard money lender, like Kiavi or Lending One or Lima One. All of them do where you can broker for them. Where if you send them a loan and they get approved, they'll pay you a point, maybe 1 point or 2 points. So if someone gets a $100,000 loan, you make $1,000. So you can, that's what we do as far as referring people to funding. And we, of course, we say, hey, if you have a property that you need to sell, send it our way because hey, we're not only actively buying, but we're also actively have investors looking to buy as well. So send us your deal. So yes, a lot of investors that are on your buyers list also have a lot of properties they want to sell. So it makes sense to say that, right? So anytime we are advertising, we're saying, hey, also send me, if you have any deals, send me your deals, right? Because we've had a lot of investors where they came in and they were a buyer on our list, maybe bought a property or two from us, and then and then turned around and said, "Hey, can you help me sell this property?" Right? And they became a seller. So I have quite a few guys where we've done like 40 deals, whether they bought it from us or whether we sold it for them, they became the seller or the buyer. So don't just look at buyers as just an investor, but also look at them as they can be a potential client that you can sell their properties, right? So the best way to build your buyers list is have a deal under contract. That's why we first focus on marketing, talking to sellers, making offers. So the best and easiest way to build a buyers list really fast is to have an actual deal you have under contract that you're trying to sell, right? So that's the best way to do it. And you'll easily get like 30, 40, 50, even maybe up to 100 buyers from advertising one deal, right? Because when you advertise your deal, you're going to be posting it, if you don't sell it right away, you're going to be posting it on like Facebook groups, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and every buyer that comes in, you should try to capture their phone number, their email, put them in your CRM so that in the future you can add them to your buyers list, right? Like today you may have, zero buyers on your list, but if you're consistently building your buyers list every single day, a year from now, maybe you have 500, maybe you have 1,000 buyers on your list that want a deal from you that's signed up, right? And and that's what you gotta look at is like you're starting with nothing, but eventually a year from now, when I have like 1,000 actual buyers that opted in, and I can just send an email, send a text, call them, leave them a voicemail, and sell a deal, right? And that's where you want to get to eventually is you have a buyers list already, and all you got to do is shoot an email out, and all of a sudden the deal's sold in 24 hours. Those are the best, right? Of course. When I first started, I went to all the auctions, like the actual auctions where people were bidding on the properties and they had to come up with the cash in 24 hours, right? So they had to come up with like 300 grand cash 24 hours. These are the best buyers, the guys that are just cash, 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 right? So I would say try to go to all the auctions that you can. And you're not there, of course, if you have cash to buy properties, then go ahead and bid on them. But you're there, of course, to network, get give your card to these buyers and try to get their information. And that's what I that today you can build a buyers list from home on your computer, and not leave your living room, not leave your bedroom, right? But when I started, I went to all the meetup groups. I went to all the auctions. I was meeting buyers left and right at Starbucks. I was meeting them for dinner, meeting them here, there, going downtown, meeting buyers like crazy, right? Today, with all the, skip tracing and all that we're gonna get through, you could build your buyers list from home, but I'm just going all the different ways that I built my buyers list and all the different ways that you can build yours as well. Okay. So next one is REI meetup groups. So how do you get hold of auctions? You just Google it. Just type in foreclosure, real estate foreclosure auctions and put your county, your city where you're in, like Chicago, Illinois, and then you just find, when the auction day is and the properties and you just go to the address and you just show up, right? It's a time and day. REI meetup groups. How do you find them? Meetup.com is a great website. Just Googling real estate investor meetup groups in your area, your Chicago. Just meetup.com, I think, is the best one where they have the most. So go to meetup.com, go to, type in your city, Chicago, and how far you want it away, and start going to all the meetup groups like in person, right? And I literally went to 3, 4 meetup groups a week, every single week when I started, right? And I do recommend that. Like it's good to get face to face, build rapport with these buyers. And I've had buyers, 50, like 12 years ago, I met at Starbucks or met them in their office or met them somewhere, and we're still doing business today because we built rapport and trust, right? So REI meetup groups is a great way to build your buyers list. You should basically everyone you come in contact with, you're giving their card, you're getting their card, you're giving them your card, and you're going home and adding them to your buyers list, right? Of course, social media is you should have a Facebook business page. I just use my personal page as my marketing. You can use your personal page, Instagram, YouTube, if you have a, if you're sharing, maybe you're sharing information, LinkedIn channel, TikTok, right? So TikTok's a new one. So having all the social medias where you're constantly marketing, saying, hey, if you're you're a buyer looking for deals, join our buyers list, right? And you should be just giving good information, right? Like kind of like what I do, I just give really good information out for free, and then I in return say, hey, I have deals. If you want to join my buyers list, join my buyers list, right? You don't have to necessarily do video. You can do just text, right? Like, of course, like websites like YouTube and TikTok require video, but if you just want to do like LinkedIn, Facebook, then you can just type it out, text, or have AI write a text for you, right? Host your own events. So yesterday I was talking about like raising private money, um, and I mean ra raising money for your deals. And one of the best ways is host your own events. And another way is to find buyers, right? Hosting your own events actually does everything. I hosted live events in Chicago area. I think I started maybe 12 years ago. I think so 15 years ago, I think I started. I'm not good with dates. But and then like a year or two after that, I started a meetup group because I was making like over 100. My first year, my first year working part-time, I made like over 120 grand. And then when I quit, I made 240 grand, like I doubled it. And then that's when I like started the meetup group. So I'm like, um, I have more time, I can start a meetup group. And I use that event, the meetup group, to find deals. People, people start knowing who you are, sending you deals, raise money, right? Like I would present deals in the meetup, say, hey, here's a deal. You can end up making 40 grand on it. I need an investment of $50,000. Who's interested, right? So you can raise a lot of money in meetup groups, hosting your own events, and finding buyers, people that are actual buyers that are looking for deals, right? So hosting your own meetup groups, I think, is um one of the best ways to get your name out there. And I don't recommend that until maybe you made like over 120 grand in a year or more, right? Maybe you made over 120 grand in real estate where you it was just strictly real estate where you're doing wholesaling or other strategies, and then maybe start a meetup group, right? Of course, a lot of us, I was definitely out of my comfort zone when I started a meetup group, and I did it because um my mentor was like, hey, meetup groups, you're gonna raise money, you're gonna have people sending you deals all the time, you're going to also build your buyers list. So it's like a three in one. And on top of that, you meet really great people, and you create connections for a lifetime, right? I have people that I met 10 years ago doing the meetups, and we're still doing deals today, right? And we're still having business today. Hard money lenders are a great source of buyers. So contact any hard money lender because they always have buyers looking for loans, right? So, hey, so you just contact the hard money lender. Hey, can you send this deal out to your list, or they can just send you the buyers that they have, right? Because they're not in the wholesale business, they're in the lending business, right? So they want you to send their buyers deals so they can fund the deal, right? So they want that. So some hard money lenders will just give you their list that you can send deals to, or you send the deal to them, they send it to their list. So contact all the hard money lenders in your area, and reach out to them, say, hey, we have deals for sale, right? So this is a list for looking for buyers, right? So title companies know all the buyers, right? So reach out to all the title companies in your area that are local, and tell them, hey, I'm building a real estate wholesaling business. We're going to have a lot of deals that we need buyers for. Do you have buyers that you can introduce me to? And they're going to say, yeah, I have a lot of big buyers. And then they're going to start introducing you, send you an email and then you're going to be introduced to that buyer. And all of a sudden you got real actual cash buyers that have been closing lots of deals with this title company, right? So, imagine you got 10 or 20 of the top 10 or 20 buyers that are buying at least one, two, three deals a month, right? And it'll be easy to sell your deals. Real estate agents in your area, you can use realtor.com to find all the agents in the area. Just go to realtor.com, go to find agents, and then look for agents that work with buyers, and then you'll find all the agents that have a buyer's list, right? So they'll give you their phone numbers, their names, and start contacting all these agents and let them know what you do, right, in your area. So um and I always say, like, when you're focusing on seller leads, like, you want to focus on like one niche area, like a certain zip code or a certain neighborhood, and you want to start there, right? Because if you try to contact like all the agents in all of Cook County, there's going to be like 10,000 agents or something. So it's good to just narrow down a zip code, an actual area, and just focus on that area. And then eventually, once every agent, seller, buyer knows you in that area, then branch out to maybe the next, zip code over or something, right? So real estate agents, one agent may have 100 investor buyers on their list, right? So imagine you connect with 10 or 12 agents and they all have, 30, 40 different buyers on their list. All of a sudden, your buyers list just grew from, 100 to now 700 buyers, right? So you can leverage other agents lists as well, other wholesalers as well. If I'm When I was brand new, I just found the guy that's been wholesaling for a long time, and I sent him deals all the time. If I'm brand new, I don't have a buyer's list. I would partner with other wholesalers that are already established, right? They already have a buyer's list. The reason why is because let's say that you have a buyer's list of like 100 people, and then this guy, we have, 30,000, right? So you send it to your list of 100, and let's say you're trying to make 10 grand on the deal and everyone's lowballing you, right? But then we send it, a more established wholesaler that has a bigger list sends it out for like 10 grand more than what you're asking, and then they have, because they can do that because we have more competition, right? Like, we can try to sell it higher. So you have more people bidding on the same property, you can sell it for a higher price, right? And on top of that, a lot of people make the mistake of, you get one deal under contract and then you stop marketing for sellers, because you're trying to find a buyer for the deal now. So on top of that, partnering with other wholesalers like us, that already have an established list, you can continue marketing for new sellers while we, as the established wholesaler, find the buyer for that deal, right? So you can get more deals in the pipeline. And that's the name of the game, is like, if you're just focused on one deal, that's it, you're not going to make money at all. Like, you need to have eventually 4 or 5 deals under contract at all times. Um, Eventually get to that point where you got 10. Like, we have probably like over 20, I think 25 under contract right now. So we always probably have like 20 or more under contract right now. And that's where you want to be, like, because one deal doesn't fall through, you're not worried. You have, 5, 6, 7 other deals that you have a buyer for, right? Um, Mortgage brokers, so same as hard money lenders, mortgage brokers may have investors as well. Um, Loan officers, like, a lot of mortgage brokers also know a lot of investors as well. So you can reach out to them, similar to hard money lenders. Contractors, you can reach out to contractors in the area that have a lot of contractors know investors that are flipping properties. So you can see if they introduce you to their investors. For rent sections, like Zillow.com, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. So for rent sections are a double-edged sword. So for rent sections are also sellers, could be potential sellers, could be potential rent-to-owns, and also could be buyers. So when you're calling for rent sections, you want to kind of be open to, hey, if I see your property for rent, I have a deal in that same area. Are you looking to maybe buy another one? Great. Well, I see your deal for rent as well. Are you maybe looking for an offer on this property, right? So maybe a wholesale deal, or If you're not looking for an offer, are you potentially looking to do a rent to own or maybe even Airbnb your for rent, right? So for rents could be multiple strategies, similar to like, having a meetup group or hosting an event. Property management companies, property management companies, basically their clients are all investors, right? So property management companies would know a lot of investors. So reach out to all the property management companies in your area and see if they have investors that you can get in contact with. Facebook groups, of course. Join all the Facebook groups that are real estate investor related in your area. So if you just go to Facebook, type in, if you're Chicago real estate investors, right? And then join every single Facebook group, all of them, right? And then when you have a deal, post that deal in the groups, right? One group may have 10,000, 20,000 people in that group. So all of a sudden you have a huge buyers list, right? So join all the groups, Facebook groups that are in your area and post deals there when you have a deal, right? And you can even post like let's say you don't have a deal, you can post something like, hey, I'm just getting started and we're looking to wholesale properties in the Chicago area. I'm looking to build my buyers list. And if you want to join my list, contact me here, right? So you can post stuff like that. Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is like posting a deal kind of like on Zillow, but on Facebook. So post a deal on Facebook Marketplace. Craigslist, you can post the deal on Craigslist. And when we post a deal, we don't necessarily give out all the information. We leave the address out and then we give all the details because I want to capture the lead. I want to capture the buyer. So if you just post all the info, pictures and address and everything, the buyer looks at it, he goes, no, I'm not interested, it's too price too high. So I don't capture his phone in the email, right? But if I leave the address out, he's going to want the address and then he's going to call, text us for the address, and then I'm going to capture so now I have his information, I have his phone, his email, and I'm going to ask him, hey, can I add you to my buyers list for future deals, right? And that's the main thing is like you want to eventually capture all of their contact info. Buyers lists from paid websites like XLeads. So XLeads has all the buyers that purchased recently, or PropWire. PropWire is not skip traced yet. You have to skip trace it on your own. So PropWire.com is free. XLeads is a paid service that we use, but you can go to any zip code nationwide, type it in, go to absentee owner and purchased in the last 1 year. So what that means is they just recently bought the property in the last 1 year and they bought it as an investment. They don't live in the property, right? You can also sort by cash buyers that bought recently, and XLeads will give you the list of leads and all the phone numbers and the emails. So you'll have the leads of phone numbers that you can call, text, email, and then on PropWire, you'll have the list, but you won't have the phone number. So you're gonna have to either pay to skip trace that, like I think PropWire charges 10 cents a lead, or you're gonna skip trace one by one for free using True People Search, which is gonna take a little longer, right? And then we also use XLeads for once we have the list of buyers that are buying in this area, we have their phone numbers, their emails, their contact information. We'll also go use XLeads and we will upload those phone numbers and emails into the system. And we will send a email, send a text send an email with the deal, text the deal, and also call them with the deal and leave a voice message with the deal. So you're hitting the buyer three ways, and that's what we love about that system is that you can just upload the list and hit upload the phone numbers, start a campaign. The campaign you can edit however you want. You can go day one, send an email, day two, send a text, day three, call them, leave them a voicemail if they don't answer, right? Just Google cash buyers in your area. Just go to Google and type in Chicago, Illinois, need to sell my house. And then you'll have all these different companies. A lot of them will be wholesalers, but a lot of them will be actual buyers, right? So, and then call all those from Google, start adding them to your buyers list. So back in the day, the main way we built our buyers list was direct mail and bandit signs. Like that was the we didn't have skip tracing, we didn't have all this online stuff. Back in the day, all I had was go to the auctions, go to meetup groups, network, contact all these different, title companies, lenders, contractors, network, and then we had direct mail and bandit signs. So how do you do that? So the paid way is you take you can still we were still able to buy a buyers, get a buyer's list of people that bought recently, and then we would direct mail them the deal like with a postcard. Like, hey, I got this deal under contract. Here's I have a picture of the property, the price, the after rehab value. Call me if you're interested. There's a lot of equity, right? And it would be like a postcard to the buyer, and we'd send that to all the buyers in the area that bought recently. Um, and we used to do that for every single deal, right? So sometimes, of course, if you have like 20 plus deals that you're trying to wholesale, and that could be pretty expensive where you're sending like, 10,000 plus postcards a month, just to sell some deals, right? And then bandit signs. So we used to put bandit signs up around the property. We're not doing direct mail bandit signs anymore because of all the technology we have, but these are things that you could do to sell a property. So bandit signs, we would put up around, of course, the busy high traffic areas. And if we had a deal for sale in that neighborhood, we would go to all the maybe like a mile two radius all around the property in the high traffic areas. We'll put a sign either in the ground or on a pole or something, and it would just say dirt cheap house for sale, $40,000, 3 bed, 2 bath, and then the phone number, right? So something like that where we're trying to get buyers. And bandit signs, yeah, I mean your phone's gonna blow up with bandit signs. You're gonna get a lot of buyers from that. So that's how you build your buyers list. Of course, if you do all these things, it's a lot. Just focusing on like um getting like all the realtors in that area, getting all the landlords using like going to for rent sections like Zillow, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and then getting all the actual buyers that bought recently from XLeads or PropWire. I think those are the three. Like if you're contacting every agent, every landlord, every investor that bought recently, those are I think three main things. And you're calling them, leaving them a voicemail, you're texting them, and you're emailing them the deal that you have under contract. That should sell it, right? If it's a good deal. If it's not a good deal, of course, there are some deals or a lot of deals that are not good deals. We have to change the strategy sometimes. So if you can't sell your wholesale deal, let's say we're 2, 3 weeks in, and all the offers are coming in too low, and the seller won't come down on the price, and you can't get the buyers up. You can turn it into like a listing, a straight option or novation is what they call them. Um, and if the price is too high, sometimes the price is just too high off the bat. We just list them right away. So if you're not licensed, like we have a listing, like for example, right now we have a listing in St. Louis, and I'm not licensed in St. Louis, Wisconsin. We have a listing in Texas. We use brokerlist.com to list them. So we go to brokerlist.com, and you do need to have it's kind of like a power of attorney with the owner giving you the right to list the property, and then like a purchase contract. So you can use the purchase contract that we have, and then like a power of attorney or authorization to list. And you can use brokerlist.com to list straight options and novations on the market, on the market for sale, where you're listing it to find more so of a retail buyer, right? So if a lot of deals that we try to wholesale, we kind of know like, hey, this may not sell on the off market, but let's try to sell it, give it a week, 2 weeks go by, we have no luck. We'll go back to the owner and say, hey, Mr. Seller, the highest offer is this. Are you willing to come down? They won't come down. Okay, I can't get the seller down, I can't get the buyer up. So our other option to help you sell to get rid of this property is that we can list it for you. Like you will still net the same exact amount we agreed on our on the purchase price, and we will cover your closing costs, any commissions. You don't have to do any repairs. You're selling it as is, and we'll add our fee on top of that price, right? So if the sellers agree, then we'll turn that wholesale deal into a straight option or novation, and we'll list it on the market. And then that way, you're doing everything you can to try to get that deal sold. Because when you list it, now everyone knows about it, right? Every single agent, every single investor, because it's now on the MLS where it goes to thousands of different websites and it's out there for everyone to see. So that's how to build your buyer list in 2025. And of course, the main thing is you should have some sort of CRM where you're capturing all these leads. And if you're not, you need one, right? Let's see any comments. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. You can call, text, email, need support, let me know. And the whole thing with building your buyers list is just very similar to building your sellers list. You want to look at it as like you're planting a seed, right? Maybe you have nothing, you have 0 buyers today, but 6 months, a year from now, you have 1,000. 2 years from now, you have 2,000. So same thing with your sellers list. When you're making offers every day, you want to look at it as like you're trying to build these 2 databases as big as possible so that deals are easy, right? Like if you have 0 sellers that you made offers to, but a year from now, let's say you made 500, 1,000 offers, and you have, most of them reject you, so you have them in follow-up. So you have all these sellers in follow-up that you made an offer on, and eventually that's when business becomes really easy. Is like I have 1,000 leads that said no, but they said it's okay to follow up with them, and every month I just send them a call, text, and email. All of a sudden, I now start getting 2, 3 deals under contract every single month because I just follow up with my old list and I get a deal, right? And you want to build that list as big as possible every day. Start adding more leads to that list, and same thing with the buyers list. Build it as big as possible, right? So let's say you start today, and then 2 years from now, you have 1,000 plus sellers on your list. You have 1,000 plus buyers on your list. So you get to the point where I just follow up with my sellers list. I get 1 or 2 deals under contract, pretty easy. And then once I get the deal under contract, I send it to my list of 1,000 buyers. I just send an email, send a text, and the deal's sold, right? And that's when business is easy, right? Like, and that's happens on a lot of our deals where we just send it out in a couple days, boom, it's sold. I don't have to do any more marketing. I don't have to post it here, post it there, post it there. I don't have to call anybody else, text anybody else. I don't have to call realtors. I just send a text, send an email, and then boom, it's sold, right? So that's how you gotta look at this business is I gotta build these 2 databases of seller leads and buyer leads as big as possible. Of course, you can partner with us, use our list for now. If you don't have a list of buyers, you can send us the deals. Of course, any deal we help you with, analyze, we ask to partner on. But eventually that's where you want to get to, right? Build these 2 databases as big as possible. If you have any questions, let me know. Is my email, call, text. So it's gonna end real quick with 1 Peter 2:4-5, right? Living stones for God's house. So you are coming to Christ who is the living cornerstone of God's temple. He was rejected by the people, but he was chosen by God for great honor. And you are the living stones that God is building into a spiritual temple. What's more, you are his holy priest. Through the meditation of Jesus Christ, you offer spiritual sacrifice that pleases him. Wow. So it says you are coming to Christ, who is the living cornerstone of God's temple. So who is God's temple? It tells you here. It says he was rejected by the people, but he was chosen by God for great honor. It says you are the living stones that God is building into a spiritual temple. So he's saying the body of Christ, the church, which is people that believe in Christ, are the temple of God, are God's temple. We're the spiritual temple. And what's more, you're a holy priest, and through the meditation of Jesus Christ, you offer spiritual sacrifice that pleases God. So God is telling us that He is building his church, and we are his temple. It's no longer a building or a place or a location, or it's you, right? You're the temple of God, right? So it's like, um once you realize that, it's like everything shifts. Like, oh wow, I gotta take care of this temple, right? I gotta take care of my body. I gotta take care of what I put in my brain, what I see, what I, because this is God's temple, right? I don't want to put things in God's temple that don't belong there, right? So, um, and that's important. Like everything that you watch on TV, everything that you listen to as far as music, everything that you put in the temple of God, you got to think like, you know is this pleasing to God, or is this displeasing to God, right? I remember growing up, I just used to listen to like gangster rap music all the time, and that stuff goes into you, like them rapping about doing drugs and going to strip clubs and having 20 women, right? And that stuff, actually, when you listen to it subconsciously, it goes into your soul and you start becoming like that, right? So you got to be careful of what you're putting in God's temple. What are you consuming? Like what TV shows you're watching? Where are you going? Like what are you allowing your mind, your brain, your eyes to put into God's temple, right? Um, Me personally, I don't, you know, I always try to find time to read the Word of God and let that into God's temple, where like re reprogramming my mind on things that, when you're reading the Word of God, it transforms you and changes you and reprograms you, right? And the same with things that reading books that are going to take you far away, or reading or watching TV shows or watching movies that are going to take you in a different place, right? So you got to be careful what you're putting in your temple, right? I believe that's including like food, diet, right? Um, I follow a book called The Maker's Diet. I don't know if you guys heard of that, but Maker's Diet is a book created by a guy that has studied the Bible and what the Bible says about food that we eat and what we should eat and what we shouldn't eat. So the Bible even has a diet plan that will make you healthy, right? And the Bible even has money principles that will make you wealthy. The Bible has so most people are chasing health and wealth, right? And in my opinion, the Bible has God has the best plan for that. Like if you read the book of Leviticus, it has like plans on eating like certain types of foods, avoiding these types of foods. Um and I believe that we need to take care of our temple, right? Because if you're always sick, depressed, you're always in the hospital, you always have this problem, that problem, like how are you able to serve God? How are you taking care of his temple, right? Like you gotta be careful about what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, right? With all these chemicals and bad food that we're eating today is causing us harm. We're now aware of that. Like it's pretty public knowledge now that all these, foods that we grew up on, like cereals and that we grew up on as kids, are pretty harmful to our body. So, um, yeah, so I believe we need to take care of our temples, take care of our bodies, take care of what we see, what we let in our ears, and what we speak. And you are God's temple. You are his holy priest. So let that sink in. Like you are the temple of God, right? So if you believe in Christ, you put your faith in him, you repented, you turn from your sins, you're trying to live as obedient as you can to follow Christ, follow his word and what he says. You are the temple of God, and he wants you to offer spiritual sacrifices that please him every day, right? And yes, you can do it. Like, there's so many things that I was addicted to that I never thought that I would be able to get over that, but it was just the the hearing of things like this all the time, like, man, God who created the whole earth and heavens and everything in it has made me his temple. Like he has made my body, my mind. I'm the temple. I'm part of the temple of God, right? So it just opens your eyes like, man, I gotta change. This is God's temple. I need to change what I do, what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, right? How I eat, how I speak, how I act, right? So hopefully this helped you guys. So if you need help, support, reach out to us. Call, text, email. Um, if you have deals, of course, send it our way. We're always looking for more deals. So God bless. Congrats to everyone's closing our closing deals. And uh, oh, we have a big, big, big deal. Hopefully if the title comes clean, there's like probably like 70, $80,000 spread on that one. So we'll talk about that next week. So keep making offers, keep talking to sellers, keep always building your sellers list, your buyers list every single day, and don't stop. Just keep going, right? I started part-time. You can, if you don't have time to do it part-time, right? So God bless. We'll see you guys next